Hi everyone, Shariar with Madrona Labs here. Today I'm exploring synced rhythmic patterns using the pulses module. If you're a Sumu user, you can use the patching techniques I'm about to share with you to quickly add rhythmic modulation to your sound. Let's get started. So I'm starting with the default patch here. Let's set the voices to 1 since we're building a percussive monophonic sound. I'm going to pull up the same harp tone I used back in an earlier video as my partial. Now let me use what I call the time-to-time technique to output the time signal from the input module over to the time input on the partials module. What I'm aiming at here is to get a long, sustained tone out of our short harp sample. Okay, next, let's get some rhythmical modulation going over this tone with the pulses module. So, the pulses module is split into 2 main sections. You have a probability engine here on the left, and 2 pulse generators on the right. There's also a really cool visual display up here that shows each of the 64 pulses triggering. Let me set the shape of the probability curve to square so that all 64 partials are triggered. And next, I'll set the width controls to max and center the pulses. What I'm trying to do is fill up this square so that all our pulses are now triggering, which is what's happening right now. Now let's get some signal out of the module by turning up the levels dial over here. You can see that the flashing blue lights down here, they indicate that the signal is now being generated. Let's grab a cable from the all dial over here and patch it over to the mod index amount. And let's also adjust the FM ratio a bit, tweak the sound. Now when I play a note, we can hear the pulse generator modulating the mod index amount. The noise dial adds randomness to the triggering of our pulses. Let's turn it down since we're building a rhythmic patch. You can hear how the triggering pulses are now more stable and metronomy. Prob is short for probability, and it controls how likely it is for pulses to trigger. So low probability would give us very few partials triggering. So low probability would give us very few pulses triggering. Let's set our probability to 1.0, so all our pulses trigger evenly. Setting the free switch here to sync will lock the pulses module BPM in sync with our host. In my case, that's Ableton Live. Let me load up a kick drum here so we can start building out some rhythmic patterns with the pulses module. Two probability controls that lead some very interesting rhythms are quant and high scale. Quant quantizes the output of the pulses module to the notes set in the dial. High scale makes the higher partials trigger faster, which leads to some really cool rhythms. Width and center dials let us control which partials are triggered by letting us define a specific range. shape section on the right here lets us control the envelope shape of each pulse output by the two rhythm generators, and also lets us define the rhythm for each generator. Let me turn our kick off here so we can focus on sound as I demonstrate some of the possibilities here with these controls. I'm adjusting the high scale to get a nice rhythmic pattern going. Let's go through our envelope shapes to see how they affect the sound and see if we find anything good. And let's get our second rhythm generator patched to the FM ratio setting and adjust its envelope setting to match our first rhythm generator. I'm gonna go ahead and set our second generator's rhythm to something different from the first generator. I think this is a good place to get some reverb loaded up, so our sound has some depth. Now that I've got some space around the sound, I'm going to go back and adjust the envelopes for the pulses. I'm looking for a pattern that would go well with our kick pattern. Okay, I'm pretty sure that this one would sound good, so let me get back to being in sync mode with my host. So that covers a technique for using the pulses module to make rhythmic patterns. Remember that you can also patch the pulses module to the space module and make your sounds do interesting 3D spatial things. Something like this. Thanks for watching. Leave a like if you enjoy these dives into building sounds with Sumu, and stay tuned for future episodes.